chapter 1, verses 1 through 18. If you have the King James Version, you find these holy, divine, and inspired words. Now it came to pass in the days when the judges ruled that there was a famine in the land. And a certain man of Bethlehem, Judah, went to sojourn in the country of Moab, he and his wife and his 2 sons. And the name of the man was Elimelech, and the name of his wife Naomi. And the name of his 2 sons was Mahlon and Chilion, Ephrodites of Bethlehem, Judah. And they came into the country of Moab and continued there. And Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died, and she was left and her 2 sons. And they took them wives of the woman of Moab. The name of the one was Orpah, and the name of the other was Ruth. And they dwelled there about 10 years. And Mahlon and Chilion died also, both of them, and the woman was left of her 2 sons and her husband. Then she arose with her daughters-in-law, that she might return from the country of Moab. For she had heard in the country of Moab how that the Lord had visited his people in giving them bread. Wherefore she went forth out of the place where she was, and her 2 daughters-in-law with her, and they went on the way to return unto the land of Judah. And Naomi said unto her 2 daughters-in-law, Go, return each to her mother's house. The Lord deal kindly with you as ye have dealt with the dead and with me. The Lord grant you that ye may find rest, each of you in the house of her husband. Then she kissed them, and they lifted up their voice, and they wept. And they said unto her, Surely we will return with thee into thy people. And Naomi said, No, you don't need to do that. Turn again, my daughters. Why will you go with me? Are there yet any more sons in my womb, that they may be your husbands? Turn again, my daughters. Go your own way. She said, I'm too old to have a husband. If I should say I have hope, if I should have an husband also tonight, and should bear sons, would ye tarry for them till they were grown? Would you stay for them from having husbands? No, my daughters, for it grieveth me much for your sakes that the hand of the Lord is gone out against me. And they lifted up their voice and wept again, and Orpah kissed her mother-in-law, but Ruth clave, she stuck unto her. And she said unto her, Behold now, your sister-in-law is gone back into her people and into her gods. Now you need to return too, baby. Return you after your sister-in-law. And Ruth said these powerful words, Entreat me not to leave you, or return from following after you. She said, For whither you goeth, I will go. Where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God my God. Will you die? Will I die? And there will I be buried. And the Lord do so to me, and more also, if anything but death parts me and you. When she saw that she was steadfastly minded to go her way, then she left speaking unto her the word of God. For just a few minutes on today, my brothers and my sisters in Christ Jesus, our living Lord, I want to pick up where we left off on last week, Gervais and Demond. I want to talk from the subject, if you will, breaking through the line of mediocrity, part 2. Breaking through the line of mediocrity, part 2. If you were not here on last week, we discovered, Brother Eric, that the word mediocre, it means to be of moderate or low quality, of moderate or low value, Sister Travis. It means of moderate or low ability. It means of moderate or low performance. It means to be ordinary. It means to be so. John C. Maxwell, in the book in which some of you have, you probably remembered reading in the 17 essential qualities of a team player that John Maxwell said the word mediocre literally means halfway up a stony mountain. To be mediocre is to do a job halfway, and it means, Dre, to leave yourself short of the summit. So what we want to do is break through the line of mediocrity. And we looked at Ruth on last week, Brother Jimmy, and we looked at 3 things that Ruth did last week, and we'll pick up on the 2 other things she did that shows you and I how you and I can break through that line of mediocrity. We don't have to be so-so. We don't have to be ordinary. We can be above average, and Ruth gives us 5 illustrations or principles, if you will. If you were not here last week, the first thing Ruth did to break through the line of mediocrity is she made the right connection. Making the right connection means that you got to be on the right channel, and that right channel involves being connected with God and his people. So first of all, you have to make the right connections. The reason many of us are no further in life than we are now is because if we would be truthful, we would have to admit that I haven't always made the right connection. I've been with folk that don't have the same worldview that I have. That's because they don't believe the same thing that you have. And that's once again why God told his people, it's somebody that you should get away from. It's some folk that you can't hang with. It's some folk that you can't party harder with. I need you to make the right connection, and those parents don't teach their children the same values that we have. So you can't just connect, and you can't hang with anybody. You can't go to any place. You don't need to be at a house party. You got 100 people in a house that's 2 square feet and ain't got but one door, and if they start shooting, that bullet don't have nobody's name on it. It's some folk you ain't hanging around. I'm going to help you make the right connection because you ain't hanging with them. So you got to make the right connection. That right connection is God and his people. Secondly, what Ruth did is when she made the right connection, then she took the right direction. And remember what I told you last week, every direction needs a director. And it's amazing that people first claim that they don't need a director. Why is it then you got GPS on your phone if you don't need a director? I don't need nobody to give me directions. Well, why do you tap into Yahoo and get directions? You need somebody to give you direction. Oh, us grown folk that don't need nothing. Thirdly, she had the right communion. Now, the direction needs a director, and in the right communion, that means you need to be with some other folk. She said, your people will be my people. Once again, your people with all their hang-ups will be my people. Your people with all their hiccups will be my people. Your people with all them problems will be my people. Your people with all that pain, they will be my people. Your people with all that hypocrisy, they will be my people. Your people with all those shortcomings, they will be my people. Your people with all them troubles, they will be my people. Your people with all them trials, they will be my people. Let me help you. Some folks say, well, Rev, I ain't marrying their family. Newsflash, yes you are. If they got some nuts, baby, her people are going to be your people. That in-law is going to be in your law. I'm telling you, your people will be my people. That's why you got to make sure the people you with are the right people, because they got people connected to them. And I don't care how much you hate your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, on some holiday, you're going to have to sit there and y'all just going to have to hate each other and act like y'all watching the game. So it's best to get folk that everybody in your family kind of halfway like, because you're going to have to deal with us. And God forbid you get the little baby girl pregnant, they got a child. Now that grandchild is her child, who's his child, that the grandmama can't stand the daddy and the daddy can't stand the grandmama. Your people shall be my people. They got this thing called Google now. Check before you marry somebody. Today, we shall see the 4th and 5th principle or steps as we break through the line of mediocrity. And this, of course, will lead us into the right relationship with God. Jada might ask the fourth principle, if you will. And we're already talking about, we already made the right connection. We already took the right direction. And then we are in the right communion. So when it says, my people shall be your people, you need other folk in the congregation. Because my people shall be your people shall be my people. So fourthly, Shabria, on today, we're going to look and thank God for Ruth, because not only did she make the right connection, Sean, she took the right direction, she had the right communion, and now she also teaches us you got to have the right devotion. You got to have the right devotion. Look at how verse 16 reads. See, you've got to pledge your allegiance to God. I remember when we was coming up, Brother Henry, in the school, we used to have to pledge allegiance to the flag and to the United States of America. And to some about a republic and some about which it stands and something else. I wasn't paying it. I wanted the juice when we got done. I don't know what the lyrics was. People pledged allegiance to a flag. Some people will wrap themselves in the flag. Some people will bow and worship the flag. But we've got to pledge our allegiance to God. Look at verse 16. Look what Ruth said. Ruth said, entreat me not to leave you. I ain't going nowhere. She said, or to return from following you. She said, for where you go, I will go. Now see, this is a real allegiance. Some of us do this today, but it's called stalking. Some ladies say, I don't want to go with you. You say, entreat me not to leave you. Where you go, I will go. That's stalking. I'll go where you go. Where you lodge, I'll lodge. I know they're saying that. But they're leaving out this last part. No, they're getting this one. My people shall be your people. But they stop at this last part. Your God shall be my God. This is the most important decision Ruth ever made, Darius. In the whole life. When she committed now her life to God. And Dre, that decision changed the course of her life. And consequently, that decision, Genova, changed her destiny. So what God is doing, God is actually waiting for us. He's waiting for our decision so he can do his part. Yeah. See, God can change your life, but he's just waiting for you and me to commit. Yeah. God can erase your past no matter how checkered it is. I don't care what you have, how long you had it, and who gave it to you. He can clean you up, but he said, I'm waiting for you to commit. God says, I can restore your life. I can bring you back to your former state. He said, but I'm waiting for you to commit. He said, I can redeem your life from destruction. I can put you back to where I had you in the first place. I can restore your mind. I can restore your wealth. I can restore your influence. He said, but I'm waiting for you to quit playing church. I'm waiting for you to quit acting like you love me. I'm waiting for you to commit. God said, I can redeem, I can buy back your life. I can get you back the stuff that you claim the devil took. In fact, the devil didn't took it. He didn't take it because he don't have that much power. If he took anything, it's because you gave it to him. He said, I can rebuild your family. I can rebuild your husband. I can bring that daughter back. I can bring that wayward boy back. I can put y'all back together again so you can sing happy days are here again. But I'm waiting for you as the head of the family to commit. He said, I can set you free from drug addiction, but I'm waiting for you to commit.